Although the fertile lands of Bengal have traditionally supported an agrarian population, factors such as the erratic climate and rising cost of living have made it imperative to find other means for sustenance. Large-scale land procurement remaining a contentious issue, the government is concentrating on small and non-invasive industries like the IT sector and ancillaries. The challenge lies in the inclusion of the agrarian society into the folds of the technologically skilled manpower. Educating them for skilled labor work is the key word for success, and a development based on knowledge and skill will go a long way for a sustainable growth formula. Therein lies the importance of a knowledge city or an ideopolis. The ideopolis is characterized by high levels of knowledge intensity through specialized institutes, research centers and vocational training centers, leading to the ultimate setting up of industries. Total self-sufficiency with respect to infrastructure, accommodation and support services, with good transport linkages, strategies to ensure that all communities benefit from the economic success associated with knowledge. One of the most dynamic businesses around the world is business analytics, a term which simplistically deals with the technologies and practices for investigation of past business performance, which helps to drive business planning. Business analytics is hence a knowledge-based industry, employing a large number of highly skilled white-collar professionals who work on a global platform, requiring international communication and facilities. The Business Analytics Hub is hence envisaged as an all-encompassing and self-supporting township, with a select skill set at its core, being supported by ancillaries, with institutions nurturing and feeding the township populace and urban machinery. The design of the ideopolis is based on two main ordering principles: land use distribution and the urban design principles of intelligent urbanism and the garden city. The land use distribution according to UDPFI guidelines are residential 50%, commercial 5%, industrial 10%, public and semi-public 8%, recreational 12%, transport and communication 12%, and green or water bodies 3%. In a business analytics hub, the percentage of industrial facilities would cater largely to white industry and the requirements of the core skill set, that is business analytics, since it is the economic driving force for operating the township. Principles of Intelligent Urbanism by Sir Christopher Benninger is a theory of urban planning, of which the first principle is a balance with nature. The ideopolis has to be accommodated in a rural or semi-rural pocket due to paucity of land in the city fringes and designed to retain the region's ecological balance. The concept of the garden city by Sir Ebenezer Howard is a direct inference of the principle of a balance with nature. Garden cities are intended to be planned, self-contained communities surrounded by green belts. Nowhere is more feasible to adopt than in a knowledge-based campus far away from existing urban pressures. Sir Howard's book on planning of new towns brings into focus two key issues: location and sustainable design. Kolkata has various advantages, including the presence of a quality education sector, intelligent manpower, and an established commuter network. Considering the dense population in the entire South Bengal stretch, the ideopolis should be self-contained and distant from the parent city, with good connectivity with the nearest transport hub. A few pockets comprising of marshy lands along the Kalyani Expressway and similar areas on the West Bank may be ideal locations. The success of the ideopolis lies in the creation of an economically vibrant, socially balanced and environmentally sustainable development. A multi-layered socio-economic fabric set up in a work and stay principle is a sustainable model where the population will comprise of people from all economic strata, working and living cohesively to sustain and run the urban machinery. We have now evolved a grand vision of the Business Analytics Campus, where the principal work options are in the business analytics sector, along with employment options in ancillary services like IT, commercial and health services that will help in running a self-sufficient township. The support services will be catered to by a sustainable labor force comprising of the surrounding rural population, trained through the vocational institutes. A sustainable design means an ecological and environmental conscious design which will comply with green rating norms. The design concept of the Ideopolis revolves around urban design structures to which the building fabric will conform and a defined zoning pattern for all the functional elements. The urban fabric will be subject to certain development controls based upon climate, transport, landform reconstruction, celebration of water, landscape and architectural style. The effect of Kolkata's tropical hot and humid climate will be mitigated with the use of various features including corridors in the outer periphery, shaded walkways and the creation of water bodies to cool the microclimate. The level of the existing low-lying agricultural land will be raised by the age-old and most economically viable practice of cut and fill, thereby creating borrow pits, which would be converted to water bodies, both to enhance the environment as well as act as drainage channels. Pisciculture and water recycling are to be adopted for keeping the water clean. The water bodies are to be developed as the main landscaping feature with fountains for aeration and a wide variety of aquatic plants, the environment being enhanced with pedestrian bridges and timber jetties. A green buffer zone of tall trees along the periphery of the campus will create an introverted environment and provide a noise, pollution and visual buffer. Tree placement would ensure that summer and winter flowering trees are interspersed with each other, ensuring the landscape remaining vibrant throughout the year. Vehicular access would be restricted and pedestrian circulation and cycle travel would be encouraged. Eco-friendly modern modes of transport like battery-operated buses, monorail and waterboats would be used. Respecting the idiom of the garden city, the architectural form should follow the principle that nature is God's supreme creation, and therefore man's creation should be subservient to it and should complement with the surrounding nature. The influence of local culture and heritage is reflected in a minimalist manner by the use of terracotta through exposed brickwork. The theme of the Ideopolis will be a garden city comprising of separate institutional nodes, functionally interconnected through a mix of commercial, office, health, residential and recreational facilities, creating a decentralized planning that will aid in an all-time vibrancy and greater safety. Each node will be separated by landscaped and recreational buffer zones, which are the green lungs for the population, making the development more eco-friendly. The nodes will fan out from a central nucleus that will be the lifeline of the township. This nucleus may be a vast expanse of water, providing an idyllic destination for the inhabitants and around which the premium commercial properties will develop. Let us take a visual journey through the Ideopolis and submerge ourselves in its serene ambience. Expansive institutional campuses with low-rise buildings set amidst open grounds that merges with the surrounding rural landscape. Student hostels with ample sports facilities. The predominant use of exposed brick using the availability of burnt bricks in rural Bengal. Vibrant interactive zones including courtyards, open-air theatres and a students' recreational centre. The school and vocational centre with the contemporary use of traditional forms. The public and semi-public zones including hotels, convention centres, exhibition, seminar and conference areas, shopping malls, museums, etc. all overlooking the serene waterfront with boating jetties and a floating market. Vast green expanses acting as life-giving lungs for the development. The signature tower with deluxe apartments with its centrally commanding architectural presence, surrounded by a green swathe of rolling parkland forming the golf course, a major revenue-earning tourist attraction. Radiating water bodies, the hub of activities like rowing, angling, aquariums and a picturesque waterfront. The supreme embodiment of the celebration of water, bazaar-style market areas reminiscent of the old-world charm of the gullies of small towns. A central marketplace or hart for mobile vendors and neighboring villages to sell farm-fresh products. The Arts, Crafts and Performing Arts Village, dedicated to reviving traditional crafts of Bengal. The residential sector with flexible living arrangements for the residents and visitors with a variety of residential accommodation including row housing, bungalows, HIG, MIG and LIG clusters, apartment towers, deluxe and super deluxe penthouses. The EWS housing, forming the living quarters for the construction workers of Ideopolis and their families, targeting the neighboring rural population for their upgradation. Thank you for taking this journey with us, and we hope for your continued support in the future. Let us go forward together in the building of Bengal's new dawn of innovation, the new jewel in its crown.